Okay, I figured out how to get the rounding to happen with our dimensioning. So if we were to zoom in here, I have a dimension now that's something I'm unhappy with just because it's precise for no reason at all. And if I was to select it, I have gone ahead and created what I call a rounded one. And all that is I went into Edit Types, I duplicated it and gave it a new name. And then down here, I selected on the unit format. It would come up usually saying this, use the project settings, but I'm going to undo that. And then I set that to the nearest edge. So now when I apply that to these dimensions, they're rounded off to even numbers. And it just makes it look a lot simpler visually. And in most cases, these won't end up exactly where you want them because there's going to be framing back here, but this is a general guideline for placement. So let's go ahead and put some ceilings in now so we can add some lighting above the rooms that we've created. So I'm going to go to Architecture and go to Ceiling, and I'm going to select a compound ceiling gypsum wall board excuse me, on a metal stud. And we can use the automatic ceiling tool and select the boundaries, and it's saying it's not visible, and that's okay. And then we want to do that room. Sorry that's so loud. And then we're going to do a sketch one, and we'll just sketch a ceiling over this area. Oops, let me use the box tool. And we'll just hold it off. This just gives us a place to place lighting in that area, and we'll do that, and it won't show up. And we can take a look at what these look like in the 3D view now. And they're not showing up because I've got them hidden. So let me just, so here we have ceiling 1, ceiling 2, and ceiling 3. So now what we want to actually do is place some lighting. And I've got a specific light that I've selected, and I'll make that available on the website. It's a ceiling mounted light that's kind of a small little square thing, and we can actually just go ahead and place these in 3D. That'll make it visually a lot easier because the ceiling plan, so we want one over the sink, probably a main one in this room, one in the stall, and one in that stall. So we can go now to the level that we want to see those in, and you'll notice they're not showing up. So that's a bit problematic for us. And so in order to do that, I've got a little bit of a hack that we can use for that. If we go back to the electrical view, and I just select on one of these, I'm going to edit it. And actually these are upside down, so we've got to fix that problem too. And what I've done is, actually that's why they're not showing up. I've already actually done the hack. I've placed a model line in here. Let me just delete it out and I'll put another one in again. I'm going to create a model line. I'm in the front view of a 3D view. I'm going to create a model line that goes from the center all the way up. And then when I select this line, I just want to make sure that it's not visible. And so we can load that back in. We don't need to, it's already been created. So I'm going to go for me. And let's go back to that 3D view because we've got this problem with the lights facing in the wrong direction. So we really need to flip them. So I've got to figure out how to do that. There we go. So I'm going to have to go through, unfortunately, and grab each one of these and flip them over so that they're facing down. And I don't see the one that I placed here. I don't know why that is. Let's click off of this a minute. It's taking a long time to get out of preview mode. Hopefully I haven't crashed. We'll give that a second. And yeah, we don't have a light fixture there, so I'm going to go ahead and put another one back in on there. So I'm going to go back to this showing my ceiling so I can place another component. another one of those lights in this area here, and then we'll make sure we flip that over. Okay, and then we can escape out of that again. It sure takes a long time to get out of. I apologize for the wait. And then we can go back to our plan view, and hopefully they'll all show up for us. And they're not showing up. Let's see if we go to our electrical. So I've changed the discipline to electrical, and there they do show up in electrical. So our discipline, they're just not showing because the visibility graphics for this was just for electrical, and I may not have even had to put that model line in. I added that model line in so everything would be appearing to be in the floor plan. So I'm not sure. I won't go back right now and do that. But now I have my lights showing up and my wall switches. One of the things I thought about was this switch is actually kind of in an inappropriate spot. So I'm going to just I'll just copy it and move it over. Well, it's not going to allow me. It's locked to that plane. I'm going to just delete it. And I'm going to grab Systems, Device, Electrical Fixture, not Lighting, because for some reason it won't allow you to select it without a lighting system loaded in. And now we're going to look at the idea of connecting these up with wires. We're just going to put an arc wire to them. So I'm just going to start near the switch, and we want to just create a little curve. Come back to the other side. So the idea here is we're trying to indicate that these lights are all going to be operated by that switch. And we make this a curvy line like that so it's easy to read as not being something that's part of the technical construction of the room. And we'll do another one for this light. If I could get the stamp. And then we have the bathroom. And there we go. Oops, close enough. Okay, so now we have basically our electrical plan for our two spaces. There's one other thing I'd like to do, and that's think about putting a vent fan in here. So I'm going to pick that up in the next, well, I'll do it right now. Let's just go and see if we can find a vent fan to insert in here. Let's go to Load Family, and let's go out to our MEP. And mechanical, airside components, yeah, terminal units. No, actually we're in the wrong place here. General, let's go out to architectural. Air terminals. I'm not finding a vent fan, so I'll pick that up when we get into the idea of doing a layout for this bathroom, or this electrical layout in the next clip. Maybe I'll have found where that is.